Saturn in the fifth house of your birth chart. The fifth house is the house of personal creativity. It is you freely expressing yourself with pleasure in mind, the pleasure of just being you, producing what you wish to do, creating what you wish to do. And that can take the form of children, physical reproducing. It can take the form of art. It can take any number of forms whereby you're exercising your personal creativity. Now, Saturn in a house means some type of restriction or inhibition around whatever that house represents. So in this case, creativity. Now, you took this incarnation with Saturn intentionally. So there's an intent behind having your Saturn in your fifth house. And therefore, what you want to do is figure that out, try to work with the positive side of having Saturn there rather than giving into the negative. Now, the negative is if you allow yourself to become so inhibited around creativity that you don't create, you stop. And unfortunately, our society is very much geared toward that happening. So, you see it all the time with children. They could be 6 and 7 years old, and they start to refuse to draw a picture because they're so unhappy with what they draw that they don't want to do it anymore. They start to compare themselves to others. And that is something that if that's part of your makeup right now, your habits, that is something you definitely want to work to change. Now, how do you do that? I mean, there's different ways. One of them is just creating a whole bunch of stuff and showing it to people and not caring. And another one, which also definitely relates to Saturn, is to become more disciplined so that you become more happy with what you're creating. Sometimes being disappointed with oneself is genuine, and sometimes it's about other people's reactions. And so you have to really work to figure out which situation is applying to you. Are you trying to get approval and acceptance and not feeling like your art or your sense of fun is good enough for that? Or is it that you have some type of a real internal model and you know that you're falling short of it? But again, if you are, then what you need to do is work to get there. So use that discipline to express yourself in the way that you intended to do. Wherever Saturn is in a chart, it ought to be where we become experts, where we focus and slow down and really dig into that that enterprise seriously. So in this case, digging seriously into fun, digging seriously into art and creativity, and who you are personally, such that you want to create something, not worrying about others. So that is really the crux of Saturn in your fifth house.